Hello everyone. Today we will study permanent magnet moving coil. This is very important topic. So before study magnet moving coil, we will study basics of analog meters. First point, an analog device is one in which the output or display is a continuous function of time and bears a constant relation to its input. Means in analog device the output is a continuous function of time. It will vary continuously with time. Second point, analog meters are used to indicate directly the value of current, voltage, power or energy. They directly indicates these values: current, voltage, power and energy. Third is an electromechanical meter, which is also known as analog meter, in which input is an electrical signal which results in mechanical force or torque as an output. So what is electromechanical meter? Here electro means input is in electrical form and the output is in some mechanical displacements or force. This is electromechanical meter that can be connected with additional suitable components in order to act as an ammeter and a voltmeter. So these analog meters can be connected adjustably in order to act as an ammeter and a voltmeter. Fourth one, the majority of analog instruments including moving coil, moving iron and electrodynamic utilizes the magnet effect. These instruments which have moving coils, moving iron and electrodynamic, so they always utilizes magnetic effects. And the last point is the most common analog instrument or meter is the permanent magnet moving coil instrument. As I earlier said that PMMC is very important. So it is why it is important, because it is most common used analog instrument. So operating torques, these any instruments deflection is found by the total effect of the deflecting torque or force, control torque or force and damping torque or force. Means these analog meters works with these three types of torques and we have to study these torques before we will study the working or principle of our PMMC. Deflecting torque. The deflecting torque's value is depend upon the electrical signal to be measured. This torque or force helps in rotating the instrument movement from its zero position. The system producing the deflecting torque is called as deflecting system. So what is the basic purpose of this deflecting torque? Its value is proportional to the electrical signal to be measured, and it is used to help the rotating the pointer of the instrument from its zero position, because a pointer will deflects the value of the measured quantity, so its value is proportional to the electrical signal. Controlling torque. The act of this torque is opposite to the deflecting torque. It opposes the deflecting torque. When the deflecting torque and controlling torques are equal in magnitude, then the movement will be in definite position or in equilibrium. Your pointer will sets to rest when these two torque, deflecting as well as controlling torques, are equal in magnitude. Only then pointer of the instruments will sets in the rest position. Spiral springs or gravity is usually given to produce the controlling torque. So controlling torque is usually provided by the gravity or springs arrangements. The system which produces the controlling torque is called controlling system. Function of controlling system: it produces a torque equal and opposite to the deflecting torque at the final steady position of the pointer. In order to make the deflection of the pointer definite for a particular magnitude of current. So it is same that when both the torques are equal, only then the pointer will reaches in its steady state. Second, to bring the moving system back to its zero position when the force causing the instrument moving system to deflect is removed. So when deflecting torque is removed or signal which we want to measure is removed, then this controlling system will bring the pointer to its zero position. So this is the function of the controlling system. The third torque is damping torque. It is also very important. When the deflecting and controlling torques are equal in magnitude, then the movement will be in definite position or in equilibrium, movement of the pointer. Before coming to rest, pointer always oscillates due to inertia about equilibrium position. So this is the point signifies that before pointer will sets to rest, it will oscillate around its final value or at equilibrium. Third point, unless pointer rests, final reading cannot be obtained, because if your pointer is moving on the scale, you cannot able to find the exact value of the measurement. This torque ensures the pointer comes to an equilibrium position, that is at rest in the scale without oscillating to give an accurate reading. So this is the function of this damping torque. It will make the pointer at rest without oscillation so that it can give accurate reading to us. And source of damping torques are air friction, fluid friction and the eddy currents. These are provide damping torque to the system. Now damping torque can be underdamped. Our system or measuring system can be underdamped, critical damped, overdamped depending upon the torque values. So figure shows this the system that is underdamped system, critical damped system, overdamped system. So what is an underdamped system? If deflecting torque is greater than controlling torque. Underdamped means deflecting torque is greater than controlling torque. Then the system will move like this. It will provide output with oscillations before it reaches to final steady state value. What is critical damped system? Here the deflecting torque and controlling torque becomes equal. So the system will gives or reaches to steady state value before or earlier. And what is overdamped system? In case of overdamped system, deflecting torque is less than controlling torque, and so in this way our system will get its steady state after long time, or it will take long time to reach at steady state. So these oscillations can be minimized by the damping torque, or damping torque is used to set the pointers in equilibrium position. Now we will study principle of working of the PMMC. So what is basic principle of PMMC? When a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force and tends to move in the direction as per Fleming's left hand rule. This you have studied in uh, earlier classes also. Fleming's left hand rule, or when a conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it will experience a force according to Fleming's left hand rule. So what is Fleming's left hand rule? If the first and the second finger and thumb of the left hand are held so that they are at right angle to each other, then the thumb shows the direction of the force on the conductor. The first finger point towards the direction of the magnetic field and the second finger shows the direction of the current in the wire. This is the diagram of PMMC. So here we will see that permanent magnet is present here, and this is our pointer and scale arrangement. This is scale, this is pointer. Pointer is connected to coil through which current will be passed, and these are the coil wires which are used to connect the circuit whose current we want to measure. And there is also a rotating this is also known as rotating coil assembly. The current will be passed through this coil, and this current will go to this coil. Here we have n number of coils or turns of the coil, and through this coil we have an pointer is attached which moves on the scale. This is the shaft of the coil through which pointer will rotates, and this shaft will also free to move over the jeweled bearing mounts which are present on the both side here and here. So in this way, when current will pass through this, a rotating magnet field will be set up in the this coil, and this magnetic field conflict with the magnetic field of this coil, and in this way pointer will start rotating. So in this way we will get the measured value of the current. Construction of PMMC. What are different parts of present in the permanent magnet moving coil? A coil of thin wire is mounted on an aluminum former or spindle positioned between the poles of a U-shaped permanent magnet. This is U-shaped permanent magnet, and this is aluminum former on which we have n number of turns of the coil through which current will be passed. The coil is pivoted on the jeweled bearing, and thus the coil is free to rotate on the jeweled bearing. So this is jeweled bearing, and this coil, when this coil will move, it is free to move by using these jeweled bearing mounts. The current is fed to the coil through coil wires. These are the coil wires, and current will be passed through these coil wires. The coil which carries a current which is to be measured moves in a strong magnetic field produced by a permanent magnet, and a pointer is attached to the spindle which shows the measured value. So this is very simple principle of the permanent magnet moving coil. Now working of PMMC. When a current flows through the coil, it generates a magnetic field which is proportional to the current in case of an ammeter. Clear? The deflecting torque is produced by the electromagnetic action of the current in the coil and the magnetic field. So this deflecting torque is provided by the combined electromagnetic action, that is magnetic field produced by the current in the coil and the magnetic field of the permanent magnets. When the torques are balanced, means the moving coil will stop, and its angular deflection represents the amount of electrical current to be measured against a fixed reference, which is known as scale. When the torques are balanced, means controlling torque and this deflecting torques are equal, only then moving coil stop, hence our pointer will stop on the scale and it will give us measured value. If the permanent magnet field is uniform and the spring is also linear, then pointer deflection is also linear. The controlling torque is provided by two phosphorus bronze flat coiled helical springs. As in earlier slide we seen that controlling torque is provided by the spring. So here we will use two phosphorus bronze flat coiled helical springs to provide that controlling torque. These springs serve as a flexible connection to the coil conductor. These also work as the coil conductor through which we will enter the current whose value which we want to measure. Damping is caused by the eddy current set up in the aluminum coil, so which prevents the oscillation of the coil. So damping torque is provided by the eddy current, because coil is placed on the aluminum former. When current will pass through the coil, then eddy current will set up in the aluminum coil or aluminum former, which prevents the oscillation of the coil, so that our pointer will settle without oscillation at the scale, so that we can get the correct value of the measured current. Deflecting torque. Now we have to find the expression for deflecting torque. When the current is passed through the coil, forces act upon both its sides and produces the deflecting torque as shown in the figure. This is north pole, this is south pole of the magnet. So this is the outward movement, this is the inward movement of the current. So force act upon both its side, means force will act on this side as well as on this side. Through this force or torque, our pointer will start rotating. So B is the flux density in Weber per meter square. L is the length of the coil. B is the breadth of the coil. N is the number of the turns in the coil. I is the current passing through the coil. So magnitude of the force experienced by each side of the coil. Each side of the coil is given by BIL Newton. This is the force. Force value is BIL here. But we are using here N turns. So total force on each side is N multiply with BIL Newton. And deflecting torque, value of deflecting torque is force into perpendicular distance. Force we have calculated here NBIL, and this perpendicular distance is B. What is B? B is the breadth of the coil, which is perpendicular distance from the force. So we will get here TD is equal to NBI L cross B. L cross B is nothing, it is the area, NBIA, where A is the area of the coil. So torque is Newton meter. Hence TD is equal to Ki. K is the constant. N is constant term here. B is also constant. Area is also constant. So deflecting torque is directly proportional to current. So applied current is directly proportional to torque produced in the coil. Such instruments generally use spring control so that controlling torque is proportional to deflection theta. We will use here spring control as a control torque. So this control torque is always directly proportional to deflection or theta. Since at final deflection point or position means where our pointer rests on the scale, these two torques are balanced, means when deflecting torque and controlling torques are equal, only then our pointer rests on the scale, as TD is proportional to theta, which is also proportional to NBIA, or here this theta is directly proportional to this I because NBA is constant. So angular movement of the scale is proportional to the applied current. So this angular movement of the pointer will gives us the value of the current which we want to measure. So this is the expression for deflecting torque, and controlling torque is proportional to here. So here we can see that angular movement is directly proportional to the applied current, which is basic principle of our this PMMC. Advantages of PMMC. First advantage is it has uniform scale. Second is operating current is small. Third is it has high sensitivity. Fourth, it has high accuracy. Fifth is extension of instrument range is possible, means we can its range can be extended. And last point, not affected by external magnetic fields called stray magnetic fields. So these are the advantages of the PMMC. Disadvantages of PMMC. First disadvantage is it is used only for DC measurement. Why? The torque reverses if the current reverses. In case of AC we have reverse current because one there is alternating current which has crust and troughs. So if AC is supplied to PMMC, reversing torque is produced. This cannot produce a continuous deflection because when the pointer will move in right direction, when trough will come, the pointer will move in left direction. So in this way it will not provide a continuous deflection here. Therefore this instrument cannot be used in AC. Second is the cost of the instrument is high. Third is error is produced due to aging effect of PMMC. And the last one is friction, jewel pivot suspension and temperature error are also present in the PMMC. So main disadvantage of this PMMC is it cannot used for measurement of AC because pointer will not show continuous deflection in case of AC. Applications of PMMC. PMMC is a very important instrument in measurement. So now we will see the applications of PMMC in the measurement of direct currents and voltage. It is used for the measurement of DC current and DC voltages. In DC galvanometer to detect small currents. It is also used in the as a galvanometer like in our bridge circuits to detect small amount of the currents. In ballistic galvanometer used mainly for measuring changes of magnetic flux linkage. So ballistic galvanometer are also used for measuring the changes of the magnetic flux linkage. So this is all about the PMMC. Thanks for watching.